Russia has made a sensational claim. Russia says that Ukraine tried to kill President Putin. Let me first tell you the statement that was released by Russia. The Kremlin released a statement saying 2 unmanned aerial vehicles were aimed at the Kremlin as a result of timely actions taken by the military and special services with the use of radar warfare systems. The devices were put out of action. It also says that we regard these actions as a planned terrorist attack and an attempt on the president's life. By president, they mean President Putin. They say this was carried out on the eve of the Victory Day, that is the May 9th parade, at which the presence of foreign guests is also planned. And what is noteworthy is that they add that the Russian side reserves the right to take retaliatory measures where and when it sees fit. Now, there are some visuals also floating on the internet, which are said to be from a Telegram channel that claim that the blast that is seen in Moscow is that of a drone that is coming too close to Kremlin and was destroyed by the radar. Now, we cannot verify whether these visuals are correct or not, but it is a huge claim that Moscow has made against Ukraine. Now, this also becomes important because the Victory Day parade, which is actually a parade that celebrates the end of the Eastern Front War of the World War II in 1945. And Russia claims it as a victory parade and has been showcasing it in the last 2 decades, especially during Putin's rule, as the pride of the nation. And this is an opportunity for the Russian administration and the government to display its military might. But it was also accepted by Russia that there is risk in going ahead with these military parades or the Victory Day parades in the regions which are closer to Ukraine or the border. And this is why in 6 regions the Victory Parade was cancelled. Also, very interesting to note is the statement made by Vladimir Zelensky. Now, Zelensky has been busy resisting the Russian attacks for over a year now. And in a documentary, he claimed that Vladimir Putin will be killed by the hands of his own close allies. In fact, he said that carnivore will eat the carnivore. Now, Zelensky had said this quite plainly and without mincing any words. It was said in a documentary which was produced by a journalist, and this documentary was released coinciding with the 1-year anniversary of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And in this, the Ukrainian president said that he believed that there would be a time when fragility of Putin's leadership would be felt and he would eventually be killed off by his own inner circle. Now, this is quite interesting that this was sort of predicted by the person who's being accused of the act. So Zelensky had at that point of time said the carnivores will eat the carnivore, and it is very important. They will need a reason to justify this. See, he had said many things, but he was directly pointing towards Putin's inner circle for the act. But here we see Russia pointing fingers towards Ukraine for an alleged attempt at Putin's life. Now, as we just told you, there was a claim that 2 drones had come into very close to the Kremlin, and these drones were shot down or destroyed or neutralized by the radar warfare system. Now, we also have to understand that the Russian president's popularity has taken a sort of a setback in recent times. And there is a reason for this. Putin seems to have signed an order which allows Russia's defense ministry to enlist men into compulsory military conscription, which basically means that you have to do a military service which is compulsory. And we have seen as the war has stretched, there seems to be a fatigue that has set in within the Russian people regarding the war. Although Russia clamps down very heavily on anyone who tries to speak against the war, but there are many people who have expressed their displeasure with the war. And now it has become sort of compulsory or mandatory upon young men of Russia to go and fight the war. So there is a sense of unhappiness about the war within Russia itself. All male citizens who are aged between 18 to 27 are subject to conscription, which is about 1 year of active duty of military service. Now, this is another a feeling of discontent, we can say, within the country or within Russia. Well, this aside, what really seems to be important is that Russia has accused Ukraine for this attempt or alleged attempt on the life of its president, President Putin. Do tell us what you think about this video in the comment section, and for more news updates, subscribe to India Today.